How to check your potential backend developer, backend interview questions and answers. By pro coders. What do you need to know before hiring a backend developer? The backend developer builds the application server side. They are responsible for building and testing the client server environment. Asking the right backend development interview questions can help uncover a professional's skills. Backend developer skill set. Experience building scalable software solutions while implementing coding best practices. Fully understand at least one backend programming language such as Java, PHP, Ruby, or Python. Fully understand and be competent to work with database technologies such as MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, MongoDB, etc. Soft skills such as teamwork, critical thinking, and innovation. For senior developers, leadership skills are important. Backend interview questions and answers for beginners examine the most basic ideas, not something technical or too technical initially. What is difficult about writing code? By asking beginner candidates how they pull through the difficulty of writing code, you can gain an idea of how motivated and resilient they would be at work. What is your approach to debugging? There is no perfect coder anywhere, neither is there a perfect code. Basically, an excellent coder must be an excellent debugger too. What you should look out for in a candidate's response to this question includes the debugging tools they use, how they handle troubleshooting, and what exact steps they take to fix issues. Mid-level backend developer interview questions, 2 to 4 years of experience. The backend technical interview questions for this section should cover some more advanced concepts that provide an understanding of the framework of backend development. What's the difference between software architecture and software design? Software architecture is the structure of a program. Software design, on the other hand, is the actual code-level implementation of the software requirements. If software architecture is the blueprint of a program, software design would be the building of the program. What are some CI/CD practices? Continuous integration is an ongoing automation process that ensures the regular building and testing of a program. Continuous delivery occurs later in the life cycle and refers to the ongoing development of a program ahead of production. Taken together, CI/CD is an automated process that closes the gaps between the development and the operations teams in a bid to scale up production. How do you build scalability into a software program? Scalability is important in software development to meet rising user demands and adapt elements and functions to the growth of the user data. The lifetime value of a program depends on its scalability. Advanced level backend engineer interview questions, more 4 years of experience. Why would you use microservices architecture? Microservices architecture is defined by the integration of multiple smaller independently deployable services into a single application. It improves the versatility of the operation since individual services may be written in different programming languages. Therefore, you leverage the strengths of each language for the requirements of each service. What is your most challenging project? Being a senior developer is also a matter of the kinds of projects the developer has handled, and how they have surmounted the toughest challenges. One way to discover this is to ask the candidate for what their biggest endeavor has been, and how they pulled through. How would you organize a software development team? Senior developers often have to bear the burden of maintaining cohesion within the team. Thus, good leadership skills position an excellent developer, and these must be examined via back-end engineer interview questions. You can probe this by finding out how the candidate has fared monitoring junior developers to them. How to prepare for a back-end developer interview, if you are an employer. The only way to determine if a developer is as skilled as they say they are is to probe their past projects. Every developer must have worked on some project before, whether a pet project as a beginner or a massive project for a big business. Backend developers can work remotely, in fact, most do. Therefore, you can hire from anywhere. No matter the country you are in, ProCoders has provided a client like yours with excellent development services by building cohesive development teams for your project. As an employer, you need to worry less about recruitment so that you may attract the best talents. Subscribe our channel and read more about how to check your potential backend developer, Backend interview questions and answers at Procoder's blog.